Hello, Rim of the World Mountain Communities. It is Tuesday, August 2nd, and it's time for your weekly real estate market update. Welcome to this week's real estate update. I'm your realtor, Theresa Grant. And before we dive in, I just want to apologize because I haven't given you an update for the past 2 weeks. What happened was I caught that bug that's going around and I couldn't do anything on video. I couldn't film. I really couldn't talk. I lost my voice for a while, but that's over and done with. We are back and I'm excited to bring you the update that you've been waiting for. Before we dive into the market statistics for the week, listen, if you're new to the channel or if you're a repeat listener and we've been bringing you value, do me a favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications bell, whatever it takes so that as we bring you content, you're not missing it. You're the first ones to get it. It would really mean the world to us if you did that, because whenever we publish new videos, they're designed to help you stay informed about our local real estate market, just like this video right here. All right, the time is here for us to take a little bit of a dive into this past week in real estate here in our Rim of the World mountain communities. Let's go over to the statistics. Okay, as usual, we're going to start our market update with covering Lake Arrowhead, all areas. Now, if you know the area, you know that Lake Arrowhead isn't just Arrowhead Woods. It's also the surrounding communities like Twin Peaks, Blue Jay, Rimforest, Skyforest, Deer Lodge Park, Arrowhead Villas, and all points in between. So when we talk about the market health here on the mountain, we talk about Lake Arrowhead, all areas, we're encompassing everything around Lake Arrowhead. Looking at the stats for just the past week, this is from July 26th through to August 2nd. We've got 235 properties actively listed for sale. And in the past 7 days, there have been 8 properties that closed escrow. We have 35 properties currently escrow and 2 properties in coming soon status. As a reminder, coming soon is a status in the MLS where the property is listed for sale and it is starting to be marketed, but they're not allowing any showings into a certain date. So the property is available, but it's not available quite yet for offers. So 2 properties in Lake Arrowhead area are in coming soon status. Moving on and drilling down to Arrowhead Woods, which we know is the area that has or that designates that the properties that have lake rights for private Lake Arrowhead. This is where we kind of get that bigger picture. Now, in past updates, I've pointed out that Arrowhead Woods is pretty much driving the Lake Arrowhead all areas numbers, and it still remains true. Out of the properties for all of the Lake Arrowhead area listed for sale, 184 of them are in Arrowhead Woods, so they've got lake rights. In the past 7 days, we've had 8 closings in Arrowhead Woods. We've had 23 that are currently in escrow. And those 2 coming soons that I spoke about just a few moments ago, those are located in Arrowhead Woods. Let's take a look at the Crestline market real quickly. Crestline hasn't seen much fluctuation in the past couple of weeks. The numbers appear to be nice and steady. We've got 109 properties actively listed for sale. In the past 7 days, 10 properties have closed escrow, so we've got new owners coming into Crestline, 10 of them. We've got 25 properties currently under contract in escrow, and no properties are in coming soon status in Crestline. For the Running Springs area, so going further up the mountain, we have 75 active listings, but in the past 7 days, only 1 has closed escrow. That's okay because there are 10 properties currently in escrow, and we have 2 coming soon properties in Running Springs as well. Let's go all the way up to Green Valley Lake and take a look at those numbers. Again, Green Valley Lake doesn't have a lot of properties there, and so normally we see a very small selection of properties actually available on market. We're still at 19 properties listed for sale right now in Green Valley Lake. A couple weeks ago, that number was also 19. In the past 7 days, we've had 1 property close escrow. We have 2 properties currently under contract in escrow, and there are no listings coming soon, or I should say incoming soon status in Green Valley Lake. So where does that leave us with the market summary? Taking a look at where our numbers have been going over the past up to 6 months, the current active listing days on market, DOM, if you're looking at the screen, the days on market is up 1 whole day. It was 52 days on market. We're now at 53. The active listings price per square foot, what the general ask is on average peak to peak from Crestline to the Lake Arrowhead area to Running Springs to Green Valley Lake. Remember, this is an average. So the actual numbers according to different neighborhoods are going to vary. This is the average. We're down just a couple dollars. We're at $397 a square foot this week. For the closed properties, the properties that have closed escrows, the days on market for those also rose at 35 days on market. And for the listings, the price per square foot average for the closed properties is down just a bit to $362. What this means to me as a local realtor going on almost 30 years is that we are returning, as I kept saying over and over again, we are returning from a seller's market, and we're heading closer and closer and closer to a neutral real estate market. And that's indicated by, we've got rising days on market, both for our active listings and for the days on market for the ones that closed escrow. We take a look at those because those help us do a market trajectory to see what the activity level is. And then we're seeing our price per square foot at ask and our price per square foot at closing also coming down. What that means is that the market is adjusting and buyers are getting a little bit more aggressive in their offers. And they are actually, just as a side note, I've mentioned this before, but buyers are actually coming back now and they're asking for repairs or concessions or other considerations, and they're willing to walk away from an escrow if the property is not meeting their standards or the deal isn't going in a way that they feel is fair to them. So sellers, if you're on the market right now, talk to your realtor, find out where your average days on market is for properties in your price point and also for just your general area, and just be open to those negotiations, because prior to 2020-ish, when the world started changing in such a major way, we were in more of a neutral to rising market, and pardon me, and this was normal for us to have longer days on market. In fact, we are still at lesser days on market now than we were 2 years ago, and our inventory is still at roughly 32 to 35% right now as to what it was a little over 2 years ago. So that's kind of a breakdown of those numbers to help you put it into a little bit of perspective as we move on to the next screen. This is something that we've only really started tracking for these updates, and this is the expired listings. For the prior 2 years or so, properties were selling so quickly that expired listings were just like, we weren't really hearing about them at all, because property was moving briskly and people were stepping up to the plate. They really wanted to buy a home in our area, and the supply was not necessarily meeting the demand, so the demand pricing was rising. You know how it was. We saw multiple offers and things were just moving along at a fast clip. As we move from that type of market over to more of a neutral market, that's when we start to see properties expire out of the MLS, which means that the listing contract has failed. That could be for any variety of reasons. Usually it's due to the asking price being too high. Perhaps just there was something going on with the property that made it unappealing to buyers at that price point. 9 times out of 10, when we see something expire, it has to do with the pricing or the condition of the house not meeting the buyer's expectations of the market. So the contract runs out. In the past 30 days, we've seen 16 property listing expired. Prior to that, in the 31 to 60 days prior, there were 12. In the 61 to 90 days prior to that, there were 8. And in the 91 to 110 days prior to that, it was 2. So you can see, going back 110 days, from 2 then to 8, then to 12, then to 16. More listings are failing to sell, but still compared to where we were about 2 years ago, that's extremely, extremely minor. Thank you so much for joining me. I know this was a quick one, but I wanted to get these statistics out to you as quickly as I possibly could. I hope the information's been relevant to you. If it has been, once again, please do us a favor, like, subscribe, hit the notifications button so you don't miss the updates, as well as anything that we put out in video content that talks about our market area or things going on, or even new listings coming to the market, because you never know. Even if you're not in the market to list or buy right now, you might know somebody who is, and they might need this information too. So please be sure to share it. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Theresa Gratt, your local realtor. I'll see you next time. That's bye for now.